Okay, next question. Can we add any function to sell the items that are not being used in our inventory? Ooh, that's a request that's been around for a very long time. I don't think that's something we're currently working on, not because we don't want to, but because we know there are some things that are still a higher priority. There are still requests for many features that our players want that probably are a bit more important than selling things in the inventory, but it is on our list of things to do, and probably something we will get to in the future, probably. Next question. The level gap between the new and old characters is large, especially the difference between the early Legend of Iron Man and the updated characters. I fully understand the power inflation for the fun and community of the game. Still, there are significant characters within the Legend level or IP I think I would rework should be given priority over the release of new characters. Should we expect any cool new updates? Okay, so I think I kind of already answered this question. I think I understand what the question is. I will again go back to Infinity Watch. I think that's a good example of how we're thinking about things going forward, is we'll rework some old characters and pair it with some new characters. That's probably where you'll see a lot of the updates going forward. In fact, I know it is. Okay, what do you think of the current real-time arena system? So again, these questions are a little bit old, so I think that we've had some updates since then. I think those updates have been good. I think that there's still some questions around real-time arena when paired with the Mojo's Mayhem. The team has heard your feedback on that as well. I think that's the question you're really asking for, right? Have we heard feedback on real-time arena? Absolutely. We're continuing to look at it. We are continuing to make changes, and we're going to try and fine-tune the event. So personally, if you're asking me personally, yes, I think the changes have been better. As in the move away from using the traits and going with the knockouts. I have enjoyed that a lot more. I think that it's giving me more reasons to try to win. Is it perfect? No, not perfect. We'll keep looking at it. Can we add inventory to the items? Again, another thing when it comes to like inventory stuff here. I don't think it's quite as important as some of the other things that players want, but it is something that, again, is on our big list of things that we want to do. The costumes we weren't able to purchase during the release, will they become available again? Yes. I don't know when. Costumes is still kind of a new thing that we're trying to get figured out in terms of which areas of the game we think are like the best places to make those prizes available. So I think we're still trying some new things. And then once we get kind of a better hold on, a better idea of what the best ways to do those are, that's probably when you'll start to see the return of some of those costumes. So yeah, it's highly unlikely that we would release a costume once and then just hold on to it and never do it again. I just don't see us doing that. It might take a while for it to come back around, but at some point it will. Okay. What elements of Marvel Strike Force makes it special for you? What makes the game special for me? So I think one of the first things that I noticed when I played the game for the first time is I really enjoyed the user interface. So, all of the different buttons that you have around, like in combat, and in the roster, how everything is designed, around the characters, I thought was just excellent. It's superb. I think that a good user interface is something that is hard to get right, as in a UI that both looks good and feels intuitive. It's a big word, intuitive. Just means like it just feels right? Like you just look at it and it just makes sense that all of the buttons are where they are and that they do what they do. I think that continues to be one of the best parts about the game, and something that our team has been very aware to not try to break. I think the game has been broken in many ways in the past, but I think that the user interface is something that has stayed consistently good. Okay, how would you describe Marvel Strike Force in 4 words? Oh gosh, why 4 words? In 4 words. A Marvel fan's dream. So, I honestly think that, like, if you're a fan of Marvel, you can't not love this game. And I think that's what drew me to it in the first place, and one of the reasons why I came to work here. My last job, I worked for another very big movie licensed game. So for me to leave that one and come here, that was a big move for me. But I just really got the sense in playing this game that there were real Marvel fans behind it. That there were people that wanted to do this game justice for every Marvel fan out there. So that's why I would say a Marvel fan's dream. What is your favorite Marvel movie? So when I first started and made kind of an introduction post, I mentioned at the time 2 years ago that my favorite Marvel movie is The Avengers: Age of Ultron. Apparently there are a lot of people that do not disagree, that don't agree, or they are it is their perception that it is not one of the better movies. But first of all, I like it, okay? You can't tell me not to like it. I like it. I enjoy the movie. I enjoyed the actor James Spader as the voice of Ultron. It introduced us to Vision. It's got some really great fight scenes in it. I think the reason why that movie kind of gets a bit of a bad rap is because of what happens to Quicksilver in the movie. And I think a lot of people don't agree with what happened with him. So I think because of a few things like that the movie is why it's not as popular with Marvel Cinematic Universe films as the other ones. I don't know if Age of Ultron is still my favorite. I really like Doctor Strange. That's very good. I just don't know if I can definitively say which one is my favorite, but I can definitely say what some of my favorites are, and those are some of my favorites. Okay, we think you resemble Red Guardian from in the game. Have you heard of any other resemblances from other fans? Yes, I have heard this one about Red Guardian. I've heard it a lot also from our players here as well. I think quite often, because of my voice, I get people who think that my voice will sound like some other actors out there. Honestly, I think a lot of characters that have, full beards, it's a very easy comparison to make. So that's usually kind of how that happens, right? Like sometimes I'll get like oh, maybe you kind of remind me of Thor or something like that. He's blind, I'm not, but you know what I mean. So yes, I've gotten that a few times before as well. All right, I think that's all the questions. Thank you for sending me these, guys. I would very much like to hear more of your questions in the future. I will do my best to try and offer the best answers that I possibly can. But I want you to know that we hear your feedback. The community managers that represent you, they talk to us, and then I talk to the team. So there is a very clear line of communication. We hear you. We want to do things for you, and things are only going to get even better in the future, right? So thank you very much for playing, guys.